knitters and hookers, and welcome back to Ben's Balls of Yarn. It's a new year, and with New Year's come New Year's resolutions. And my New Year's resolution is to get all the WIPs done that have been just taking up space in my cupboard. So I've started this new series, WIP Wednesdays. WIP stands for Work in Progress, by the way. I have 12 WIPs here, all sorted out into individual bags and labelled. What we're going to do is spin the Wheel of Fortune, and whatever number it lands on, I'm going to be completing that WIP in this video. This series will come out every third Wednesday, and hopefully by the end of the year we'll have all of these WIPs completed. So if you're interested in seeing me complete these, consider subscribing. Alright, let's get to the wheel. Found this spinner online, and some of these WIPs I'm really excited to complete, and some of them I'm a little bit nervous about, but I guess we just have to go for it, and it's all part of the challenge, isn't it? Three. Okay. I can't remember which one I've labelled 3, so let's find out. Okay, number 3. Oh, number 3 is a big one. Oh. Okay, let me show you what it is. I'm going to tidy the rest away and I'll show you this one. Okay, number 3. So here's the work in progress. I think you might be able to tell what it is. Let me try and unravel this. Why have I done this like this? Why do I do these things to myself? So, as you can see, I've got a little bit of a granny square here. This is the never-ending kind of granny square blanket rather than a patchwork granny square blanket. So let me tell you a little bit of backstory about how this blanket came to be and why it's still a work in progress. I bought this yarn because I wanted to try colour pooling, and this is a variegated yarn, if that's what it's called. But what I found is that the variegations, the changes in colours, are just too long for me to get the colour pooling to work. So what I decided to do was, bugger it, I'm just going to make it into a giant granny square blanket. But as you can see, I only got about, I don't know, 60, 70 centimetres wide, which isn't even big enough for a lap blanket. This is already 3 balls of yarn, and because it's chunky yarn, it was quite expensive anyway. So I was like, I don't want to invest any more money into this blanket. So I think for this WIP, I'm just going to have to unravel the whole blanket and figure out something else to make with it. And I started making this maybe half a year ago, so I've had a little bit of time to think what I would do with this yarn. And, you know, I feel like this would make quite a good turtle shell cat. So maybe amigurumi, like a nice chunky turtle shell cat, amigurumi. Yeah? I've never made a cat before, but it can't be that hard. You just need a body, head, tail, ears. Maybe we could even do it pawless, just have like, maybe a pillow, like a cat pillow. Okay, let me show you my notepad that my friend got me for my birthday, and then we can draw a little bit of a design. This is the notepad my friend got me for my birthday, specifically for this channel. What do you guys think? I quite like it. I think it's very on brand. Let's keep this very simple. Head, a nice big body, ears, maybe a muzzle. We can stitch on a nose and a mouth afterwards, maybe some whiskers. I don't really have any safety eyes that would be big enough for this, so maybe we can try crocheting some safety eyes, and then maybe we can go for a tail. I think I'm just going to leave it like that without any paws, because I think it would be quite cute, hopefully cuter than my scary ass drawing, and it will make a nice kind of cushion substitute to go with the rest of my cushions. Okay, let's do it. I'm going to use a 6mm crochet hook, I think, for this project. So I'm just going to start with a magic loop, and I'm going to crochet 6 single crochet stitches into the magic loop, and then we will work outwards, increasing until we get to a size that I like. I've increased out to 66 stitches, and now I'm just going to be working those 66 stitches. I'm going to be working those stitches around and work my way up. I'll probably do, let's start with 15 rows and see what shape we get. And hopefully I haven't made this too wide that I'm going to be playing yarn chicken at the end, because I want to use up all of this yarn, but I don't want to not be able to finish, because then I'll just end up with another WIP, and I'm not trying to turn WIPs into WIPs. But yeah, so far I'm really liking the colour, and hopefully I'll get, if not a tortoiseshell cat, I will hopefully get like a nice stripy cat, it seems. Alright, let's do it! In the end I did 19 row of 66, and this is what it looks like so far. By the way, I'll have the pattern available for this on my Substack, bensballsofyarn.substack.com, so if you want to make this yourself, I'll leave a link to that in the description field. Now I'm going to start decreasing to make the shoulders, and I'll meet you back here to stuff the fella. I've finished the shoulder shaping and therefore the main body of the cat. So now I just need to slip stitch around the neck and start the head. And once I've got a few rows of the head done, I'm going to stuff it. One thing I did realise as I was crocheting this body up is that all of my previous designs I've started from the bottom and worked up. But for this simpler design, I probably should have worked from the top down, because increases tend to look nicer than decreases. So if I'd worked from the top down, the increases would be showing and the decreases would be hidden at the bottom. So when I write the pattern up, I will actually reverse everything, so you'll be working from the top down. But I think this is going to be absolutely fabulous either way. Let me get on with what I've just said, and I'll meet you back once this main body and head is completed. Alright, that's the main head and body done. You may have noticed when I was stuffing the head that I didn't quite have enough scrap material to stuff it really nicely. So what I did is I went to Hobbycraft and bought some polyfill, and I decided to stuff the outside with polyfill so we don't have any lumps and bumps, and then stuff the inside with the scraps. And I think I'm going to do that from now on, because it's made a much smoother stuffing experience, if that even makes sense. Right. Next, I'm going to crochet some ears and a muzzle for this cat, and with whatever's left of this yarn, I'm just going to do a tail to a point. I kind of want to use all the yarn up, but if the tail's getting stupidly long, I won't. But I do kind of think a really nice long tail might be nice. But anyway, let's get on. And I'm done. He's come out pretty cute if I do say so myself. Much better than I was expecting. I think it comes back to that trust the process. Even though you're not quite sure how it's going to turn out as you're going along, it tends to turn out pretty well in the end of crochet. I've given him a little bit of a wibbly wobbly tail, which I absolutely love, and it's kind of a technique that I've never really tried before, and I'm definitely going to be using the increase-decrease technique to make wibble wobbles in the future. As I mentioned before, if you want to make this fella yourself, there is a link to that in the description field below. You could just use DK weight yarn and a 3.5mm hook and get a guy about half the size of this one, I would have guessed. Let's add him to my amassing background. This is how much yarn I had left in the end, which I would say is probably about half a ball, maybe a little bit less. So I'm just going to add this to my yarn stash, and maybe this will come up in a future video, who knows. If you enjoyed watching this video, give that like button a tap, and if you want to see how I crocheted this plushiest Pikachu pixel pillow, then click on this video here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!